So the Dockers are there, but it happens that people are just not using them and trying to build from the sources anyway. If you are talking, you are on mute and we don't hear you.
Thank you. It's nice that the Docker is there. We also had trouble installing that, and I'm wondering what a good next step would be. Once this thing compiles, which is getting closer and closer, would the next best step be to go on this path, which is where we stopped? We never got to this break in the road here. Or would it be better to do what we did next, which was try to do the Docker thing and then show you the problems we ran into with trying to install Docker?
I think it's better to run the daemon because the Docker build will take more time than the normal one.
Okie doke. That's what we'll do. And I don't know. It's almost a countdown for this thing. It seems to take about 30 seconds per thing. So another few minutes. Does anyone else have anything to say while we're waiting?
Max posted the logs in the issue. Can you click the link and show it to us? I mean, you're the one screen sharing.
Yeah, I can do it.
If that's okay.
Yeah, hi, this is Max. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, Super was helping me last night, as he was saying. So as I posted in the chat the logs on issue number 171 in the RGB Node repository. Again, Super is much more competent in this field, so I would much rather have him discuss that. But if anything, yeah, perfect. Thanks, Super. But if there's any other related questions, I can definitely jump in and hopefully answer those. So I wanted to just share the whole log that we had from last night and see what you guys think. Thanks.
But from what I see, it follows that you were trying to install Docker CE, which I have no idea what it is, and you are basically failing on installing that. So it's probably just the question of how to run Docker on Raspberry, and I assume you can't run Docker on the Raspberry because of the hardware limitations.
That would be a surprise to me if you couldn't run Docker on Raspberry. I've seen, or it's my understanding that it is a popular thing to install on a Raspberry is Docker, but we certainly couldn't get it. So there's that. Yeah,
well, I'm not sure I can help because I never were installing Docker on Raspberry, and I'm not sure why you are trying to install Docker-CE. What that means actually? Where are you?
Well, that's the package that on Docker's like. What I did was how to install Docker, and well, I guess on Ubuntu, and what came up was to run that command, install Docker. First thing you do is do apt install docker-ce.
Where is it? Oh, no idea how it should work. I was installing Docker by the different comment on Ubuntu. So maybe they changed something, but it's clearly not related to our stuff. So
yeah, and here broken up here as well. There is an ARM64 build for Docker. Well, at least I mean I say all this. This is the instructions we were following, and it didn't work for us. So I say this is how it works, but it's not standard Linux is punching yourself in the face repeatedly. At least that's my experience. That's kind of what we were doing last night. Just here's the instructions. It says it should work. It's not working. But so we were. If you go through the text log, basically we were following those instructions that I was just on this page here. Install Docker for Ubuntu. At least install Docker.
But why Ubuntu? You are talking about Raspberry, probably.
Well, yeah. So that was another problem. I thought he was using Ubuntu when he was actually using a Raspberry. So they don't have instructions for installing it on Raspberry Pi, which uses RaspBOS, but they do have one for installing it on Debian, and Raspberry OS is based on Debian. So I should have been following these instructions rather than the Ubuntu instructions. And at some point halfway through, I switched to following the Debian instructions, and that could have been an issue as well. Maybe they're, well, right here. Tells you to remove that. Nope, I don't think it's different. Looks like you're still installing Docker CE down here. But anyway,
I do want to make one comment. Even before Super and I did start on this, I just didn't go and boot up my Ubuntu machine, so I just wanted to do it very quickly here on the Pi on the machine I have. So we did know that this could be a issue, but again, it is very helpful to bring this up. So I'm glad that we're going through this.
So we now do have the daemon in here. So do we? The thing finished compiling. Do you want me to run this line now?
Let's try.
Well, that's what I like to see. Well, maybe it was what I like to see. Is it good? Is that what it's supposed to do? Is it done here? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, that's correct. And you have to interface it from the different terminal. It's what has supposed to happen because you're running the daemon in the foreground. Why you interrupted it?
I did interrupt it because I want to install
tmux.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't need sudo. apt install tmux. Oh, I guess I do need sudo. Okay, tmux, new session. And I forget how to use tmux. Where's my tmux cheat sheet? Tmux cheat sheet. So for those who don't know, tmux, I don't even know what it stands for, is a multiple terminal emulator that lets you run a program in the background while you're running other programs in the foreground. If that makes sense. I think it'll be better if I show you it. Apparently there is no end flag. That's what I was doing wrong. Tmux new. And then once we're in here, we can run that. No, not that. Run that line. So now we've got the daemon running, and if I hit Control-B-D, it's still running that program in the background, but now I can do stuff in another, practically another window, and then go back to that one later. So now it's running. What do I do now? There's a lot of stuff here.
Probably issue an asset. The simplest thing.
Okay. The simplest thing, issuing token. Let's do that. So there's a lot of variables to fill in here. I'm going to copy this over to Notepad. And where's Notepad? There it is. And once we're in Notepad, we can fill in these variables. So what should be my data directory? I think that was
the same that you was using for running the RGB node. If there was,
yeah, I think we specified that.
The data, yeah, this one. But then you also need to say that you should run it from target release, the RGB Cli thing. Yeah.
Okay, so these modifications, some of them could possibly be put into this thing.
Yeah.
Like right here, it could say target release RGBD, and for data directory, it could specify this one.
Yeah.
Same with bin directory. Looks like that is the same as this, so I will put that over here.
No, you don't need bin directory here.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we going to call this? How about RGB test call? That's the name of the token.
And you need to adjust the ticker as well. This TC key N is the ticker like the short name. Yeah, RTC. Okay.
Is that so? What? By the way, I have a question. If suppose that someone already made an RTC, is that okay with this thing? I imagine it can't go look that up somewhere and then say error. Somebody already has this.
No. There is no central register, so you of course can create multiple tokens with the same ticker. It will be up to the exchanges or the listing services to find out to construct their version of the issuers who has the right to assign some specific ticker. But from the RGB perspective, there is no censorship at this level, so you can create whatever ticker you want.
Well, let's make 5 tokens, and then I need a TX ID. Can I just go get a random one from Blockstream, or is this one that I need to have the private keys to?
You need to have the private keys in order to spend that.
Okie doke. Well, that implies then that I need to have a wallet running on my Debian or on Ubuntu here, and I don't currently have one running that could give me private keys to anything. So what? I guess I'm stuck. Thoughts?
The way it's supposed to work, that RGB node is not a wallet itself, so it doesn't run. It doesn't allow you to simply assign the new issued asset to the output you own, because it has no concept of private keys and ownership, which outputs you are own. So you can either use that together with Electrum wallet, or you can use that from MyCitadel node or MyCitadel wallet, which actually provides, which actually runs the RGB node together with the wallet service. So either of these ways will work.
You said RGB. I can do it with Electrum, or I can do it with another thing. And what was the other thing?
MyCitadel, which was on the list of the software. It's actually our wallet we created to work with the RGB.
This one?
Yes.
Is that what you'd recommend more than Electrum then?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it more than Electrum, because it's a beta version which not work with the mainnet yet, while Electrum is a well-established node, well-established wallet. But MyCitadel, it is aware of RGB, unlike the Electrum. So you can use any of them with the different trade-offs.
Well, let's take a vote. Who wants me to run Electrum and who wants me to run MyCitadel? Looking at you, commenters. Well, the first 5 people, will take a vote among you. All right, we're going to do, the vote came in for MyCitadel.
Julien said that MyCitadel runs only on Apple. No, that's not true. If you will run the graphic user interface, yes, you need iPhone or macOS. But if you will run the node and command line interface, it can run on Linux or Windows whenever else.
And it has a bunch of different version or files under this. This one's for the iPhone. I know that because of Swift. But which of these should I use, the runtime or the node?
The node. The runtime is for wallet developers which would like to embed RGB support into their existing wallets.
Cool. It'd be great after running through this whole thing if we could make a whole instructions for issuing an asset and sending it to your friend. Instructions. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so install instructions. I don't see installation instructions. So therefore, I assume then that I have to go into releases, but maybe not. Am I doing the right thing here?
Assets. See assets.
Oh, look, binaries.
Yeah, we have binaries there.
Cool. So I'm guessing I need these two, the daemon and the CLI.
It's one of the options, or just MyCitadel, which is everything in one bundle, which probably will be simpler. Yeah.
And this one, then, downloading to my desktop when I want it to go to my, or laptop rather, when I want it to go to the VPS. So I will go back to here and wget this file. Ooh, it doesn't like that.
You copied something wrong.
Because I'm an idiot. That's why it doesn't like it. Copy link address. Do I make that an executable and then run it? Is that what I need to do? I'm about to hit enter. Am I doing something wrong?
It should be fine. Let's try.
Okay. Great. It gave me some stuff to do. Let's do help. Well, that did the same thing. It didn't change anything, but this is helpful. So let's try version. There we go. I know, I'm learning. This is good stuff. So if I do address, actually, let me see what happens if I do help address. Sweet. Wait.
No, you just need to type in help address without dashes.
No dashes. So create is what I want to do then. So is this a light client? Is it already? It doesn't look like it's synchronized to the blockchain, so I'm guessing it must be a light client.
It's not a light client. It will require you to provide it with a URL to the Electrum server. Otherwise, it by default uses Electrum server that we run.
So it's an Electrum based wallet.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
just to save your time, first you have to create a wallet, because before to create an address, you need to have a wallet. So you have to help wallet. My Citadel help wallet. Yeah.
Great.
And you have create comment. Yes, that's where you start. And you have the option of single sig wallet. Create. You need to provide a subcommand, which to create a single sig. Here, single sig. Okay, single sig. Yeah. And you need to provide the name, the descriptor. And that's the main thing. So you need to give a name to the wallet. And then you need to provide a descriptor of the wallet.
This is a test
wallet? No. Descriptor, I mean the descriptor, a Bitcoin Core descriptor.
A Bitcoin Core descriptor. Where do I get that?
Well, you have to write it by yourself.
So I make something up?
Give me a second.
I think what you're about to tell me is that you, in order to run my Citadel, Damon, you need to have Bitcoin Core running. So
no.
Create a descriptor.
No, not that way. No. I forgot myself. Just give me a second. I have my Citadel installed on my machine, so I will try to. Can I switch to my screen? So maybe I can walk through some of the stuff with my Citadel here. So basically, wallet list. Oh yeah, that's prior version. But the idea is that if you will look into the my Citadel, like this. Sorry. Yeah, if I don't even remember myself, so it's clearly should be in the documentation. Application support my Citadel. So what do we have here? Testnet and data, yes. So yeah, and this is the descriptor. So this is the actual descriptor of the wallet.
I mean, that looks like a descriptor. It's probably not the one I would use, right?
Yeah, it's my descriptor. I'm not sure that yes, correct.
So it has WPKH, which seems like a prefix that I'm going to need. That's a static, not a variable. And then it has a pub key. And so where do I can generate a pub key either online or...
No, it wouldn't work that way. So basically, when you use MyCitadel on iPhone or macOS, that's graphic user interface, it has the part to create and manage private keys. The command line utility doesn't have that part, because basically it's not safe to keep the private key just in the file disk space. So on iOS, we are using the secure enclave of the iPhone, but there is no common
laptop don't have that.
Yeah, and that's why you basically can't create the private key from the command line. So what you have to do is you have to create and manage this private key elsewhere, for instance, on a hardware wallet. So you can grab any public key, any extended public key from the hardware wallet that you own, or from Electron again if you'd like to, but probably better from hardware wallets.
So I was about to say, you said it's not safe to store your private key on your device, but if you're fooling around with coins that you want to send to your friend, you probably are not putting. It's not like you're putting $100,000 on there. So it seems to me that it would be nice if there was an option to do that anyway, and do the unsafe thing. Maybe an unsafe flag where you could have a private key that you store in your device, and put $50 on it so you can make a token and send it to your friend. That might be.
You're absolutely right. The question is that we've been designing the software, so the whole MyCitadel and Citadel thing, it is created that it never touch any private key at all. And the proof of that is basically that you are not even able to create the private key with this software. And only in the end-user facing apps, which is graphic user interface, we were adding another part that allows you to manage private keys locally. But you are right that to playing that from the command line, we probably should provide the same private key managing part in the command line as well. But right now it's not there. But yeah,
makes me wish I'd used Electrum for this, because Electrum can do it.
Yeah, seems like we have to go with Electrum.
Well, I'm unable to continue with this. I scheduled an hour of time to go through this. I think we've learned, at least I've learned a lot. If anyone wants to take over from here, that'd be great. But I'm gonna stop here and then and go to other things.
Yeah, that was a great feedback from all the problems and troubles you can get when you try to replicate the instructions from GitHub. So we will take lessons from that, and we will try to fill in that gaps that you were meeting with.
Thanks. Thank you all, and I hope you guys have a great. I look forward to the recording where I can watch the rest if there's more.
Maybe Bitcoin Pro next.
Thank you very much for being here and for showing everything. Yeah, I think we can move to Bitcoin Pro experience right now. Perry, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you want to share your experience with us?
Yeah, I can try, and but also a starter. So let's do it. Share my screen. Here I have my...
Can you give me 1 second? I want to relaunch the video right now.
Okay.
Just